Alright, I'm going to do a kind of a end of the year wrap up. This is just the junk, and I'm sure there's a few good finds in here, but you can see all the iron. It's tons of stuff. Like, well, you got this spoon. That's a decent find. Old tent stake. I may reuse that. That's heavy duty. Got some rebar through it. Man. And that's a decent relic. I found that out at 1780s fort. Looks like an old hook or something. Yeah, there's tons of iron in here, and I'm having trouble. Have to excuse. We had a little flood the other night, and I've been trying to clean the garage up. You can see my truck. It's starting to squat pretty good. And what I was going to do, I'm going to measure my drop pitch. Of course, there is a weed eater in there, and then my shovels and stuff, and a couple of old gas containers. Nothing real heavy. There's a small lawnmower battery. Of course, that doesn't weigh all that much, but most of it is, after you get under this, is just old relics. And I was going to measure, let me pull this out here, and see how far the drop hitch is off the ground. I'm going to go to the top part of the drop hitch. Let's get it right here. If it'll zoom in. Let me get down on my knee where I can see a little bit better. It looks like 9.5 from here. We'll call it 9.5 to the top part right here. I can't really bend down to see it, but it's close to 9.5. Okay, what I was going to see when I pull everything out of here, I'm going to see how much it raises up. There's a couple of Coke bottles and Propel water. Hey, there's one of Seven's RC colas. A couple of tools in there. But anyway, I'm going to get off here and I'm going to start cleaning this out and see how much the truck raises up. Alright, I've got the top half off. I got all the gas cans and oil containers, the battery, the saw, and then the weed eaters over there, and then got my bottle rake, a couple of small shovels over there, funnels, and then there's all of Seven's trash, Coke bottles, water bottles. No, I'm just kidding. It's everybody's. There's a glove up there. They're a dime a dozen. But yeah, there's still a lot of relics in there. Man. Like I said, this is a year's worth. I cleaned it out about this time last year. And there's some neat little items in here. I was wondering, well, what I do with it. What this was. I've never really seen anything like it. It's not broke or anything. It's a little bent, but looks like it had a hole all the way through the end there. If anybody's got any ideas what that is, just leave a comment. And right there's some I've already got out. Try to go through it a little slow where I don't want to put anything good in with something that is just junk. Well, I mean, it's all history, don't get me wrong. but I'm not going to display a piece of metal like that versus this musket barrel that was busted. I found that a while back. See where it was threaded right there. Maybe a pistol barrel. Really not for sure. Right there's where the front sight went. So yeah, it was probably a pistol barrel. Or this little bell. It may clean up pretty good. Looks like it's got some brass right there on the tip of it. I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like brass. I don't know. I know I found this piece. I was magnet fishing down here next to the house and found parts to an old table. It was quite a bit of junk I found. Nothing real good. Old monkey wrench. Make a nice display. Throw it in electrolysis, clean it up a little bit. And old goat horn, I guess, is what I picked that up. Not with a metal detector, of course, but I was walking along, sticking out of the ground. Let's see. If anybody sees anything that's pretty neat to them, just leave a comment. I've got a few broken pieces of bottle in here. Several square buckles. I try to keep them all in one bucket. Oh, right there's a decent piece. An old colonial fork, maybe. Yeah, that's what it is. Handle would have went down here. Got your two prongs. Yeah, I'll set that over here. I think the last time I done this, I found an old Borman fuse. Of course, I didn't find it, but somebody did, and I just pitched it in here. Right there's an old curry comb. What's left of one. I found that out at the bait place, way back in the field. Excuse me. My sinuses are starting to act up. Don't know what that piece is. I can use it for a chisel, sharpen it up. Old axe head. Probably be reused. Stick it over here. What that is. Looks like it's threaded. Maybe parts of an old bolt. But I'll never throw any of this stuff away. I'll just put it in buckets like that and just store it over in the corner somewhere. I know, Seven and I, we have a farm. We find, I mean, I bet between me and him both, we've found 1,500 of these. That's a blade to an old sycamore. I guess somebody, whoever lived at that house, they used to work on them. Replace the blades. Right there, look like what's left of an old saw blade. Teeth are broke. There's about a 1940s flashlight. Probably World War II maneuvers. There's old pail handle. I've heard of people say, well, they were casket handles, and I found a ton of them, and I was like, man, there's a lot of caskets around here. And then come to find out, it's a part to an old pail handle. There's a part to a watering bit. It's pretty neat. I'll leave this right there. A piece of brass. No, sorry. Probably some kind of lantern part for holds a globe or something. I'm not for sure. Let me hold it down where you can see it. A piece of bamboo. I was going to try to make a Native American flute out of it, but it kind of got squashed. Don't know what that piece is. But yeah, all kinds of little goodies in here. There's another buckle deal right there. Let's move over on this side real quick. Bottom to a old bottle. I can't make it out. I don't know what. U.S. patent. I can't make it out. The last is 17. 017 is what I can make it out. I don't know. I don't know if it's 1917 or what. No Allen wrench. That comes from the place I used to work at. There's another glove. You ever find a mace? It was next to a road. And then this is a odd horseshoe. Yeah, I'm gonna clean that up. You don't find them like that every day. Oh, speaking of a horseshoe, let me show you something. Maybe on the other side. I know the back seat's about as bad as the bed, but this is all good stuff. All metal detectors. Look at that baby. Now that's a horseshoe. We were cleaning out an old barn here in Gallatin, Tennessee, and they was giving a bunch of stuff away, and these horseshoes was over there, and I was like, man, I'd like to have them. He said, well, just take them. And we got 4 or 5 of them, me and Mr. Stone, and they went to old Clydesdale. So, but yeah, that'd ring up on a metal detector for sure. All right, I want to get back at this mess and see if it'll save my transmission. All right, I've made a dent. Of course, you can see here, there's a lot of stuff in there. And one of these days, I'll just sit back and go through them again, just double check everything. Right here's some of the better things that I've just dug through just real quick. I remember finding this. I think we've determined it was old copper plate. Of course, it's been flattened out. But I think that's what it is. Clean it up and put it with some old forks or knives or something, and then did find an old fork here. It's got some fancy on it. I don't know if you can make that out there or not. Got something at the top of it. Looks like some writing. You'll have to get that under the magnifying glass. But anyway, that's pretty neat. But yeah, I can tell the truck's come up a little bit anyway. Old brass gear. See, probably some kind of clock. I had this. Of course, my dad blamed me for stealing it, and of course I didn't know where it went. It's a fishing pole holder. He said, "I know you got my fishing pole holder," and I was like, "I haven't seen it." And well, I didn't see it because it was under all this stuff, but we know where it's at now. All right, I'll get off here and I'm gonna finish this up. All right, we've got 4 containers. It's quite a bit. I don't know how many pounds it was, but it's quite a few. It looks a little bit better. Now the only thing I've got to do is take the hose pipe and spray all the mud out. There's one more horseshoe up there in the corner. A few batteries, but other than that, it's good to go. Except all the square nails that just dropped out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to sweep that up for sure. Alright, it was 9.5 to begin with. Let's see how much it come up. I know it had come up a little. You want to take guesses right now? I'll let y'all guess a couple of times and then I'll let you know. Here we go. Come up about 1.5 inches. There's one 1.25 inches. So it looks about like 10.25 from here. Yeah, about 1.25 inches. So it wasn't squatting as bad as I thought it was, evidently. You could tell it was back there. It started once you hit a bump or something, you could feel it would bottom out. And then of course if you got anything heavy in your truck, you can feel it swaying a little bit. Yeah, you can tell it come up some. Looks a little bit better, all but the mud. There's the horseshoe. Old railroad spike. What's this little doodad? Oh no. That's the start of 2020. I'll just leave that in there. Alright guys, I'm gonna get this to a pressure washer, or probably just take it out back with the water hose. Do it that way. Have it where it's running downhill. Spray it out. Alrighty, well, Happy New Year everybody, and we'll see you in 2020.